have a witness for you, saints. But God has a right witness. I wish I had more. Come on, come on, come on, come on.
And he is like to die for hunger in the place where he is, for there is no more bread in the city. Then the king commanded Abimelech the Ethiopian, saying, take from hence 30 men with thee, and take up Jeremiah the prophet out of the dungeon before he died.
And what did they do?
So Abimelech took the men with him.
Watch this.
And went into the house of the king under the treasure.
Watch this.
And took thence old castcloths and old rotten rags, and let them down by cords.
Wait. He took old castcloths. Get this visually now. And old rags. And tied them together. And what happened?
And let them down by cords into the dungeons of Jeremiah.
Let them down in the prison. Come on.
And Abimelech the Ethiopian said unto Jeremiah, put now these old cloths and rotten rags under thine armholes, under the cords, and Jeremiah did so. So they drew up Jeremiah with cords and took him out of the dungeon. And Jeremiah remained in the court of the prison.
That's it. Come on, clap your hands. That's our announcement. Just a few words. I didn't get a chance to write nothing down. My son had me so busy, amen, running around. I didn't get a chance to write nothing down but the thought. And the thought is God will deliver. Come on, somebody. Just look at somebody and tell your neighbor, I don't care what it looks like. God, y'all ain't helping me. Say, neighbor, I don't care what it looks like. I want you to know God will deliver. God, help me in this house. Sometimes we want to go all over the place and be deep instead of just getting right to the point. God will deliver. They were upset with Jeremiah. Hold it, we're going to roll in a few minutes. They were upset with Jeremiah based on the fact that he had been used by God. Jeremiah was not like some of the other prophets, though he was considered a major prophet because the instant of his book writing was greater than some of the minor prophets. He was considered one of the major prophets. But Jeremiah's assignment was to his family and to the kingdom, to the people of the upper echelon. That was his assignment. And it was there that Jeremiah, amen, got his biggest trouble. You know, it's funny how the places where you should get your greatest support many times is the place where you go through the most hell. You have to understand that's why they called him the weeping prophet. In chapter number 12, I believe it is, he said, oh, that my head was as water and my eyes a fountain of tears. I would cry both day and night for the daughter of the slain of my people. In other words, he was weeping. He didn't understand why God would give me this assignment. It ain't nobody listening. See, you got to understand, like I told you about the message. Can you see the cracks in the wall? Sometimes it don't look like God is moving, but maybe God is moving. He even told Daniel chapter number 10, from the first day that you set out to pray, I heard you, but there was a war in heaven. There was a principality that fought against me, but I'm so glad that in spite of what's coming against me, God will deliver. Can I get a witness here? Wave your right hand and say, he will. And so now, my brothers and sisters, you have to understand that when you're in a pickle, you don't look for scriptures, amen. You look for scriptures that give you, that talk about your situation. When you need healing, you look for scriptures not only on healing, but on attitudes concerning healing. Amen. Look and see what happened to them and how their attitude was and what was required of them before they got the healing. Y'all ain't saying nothing, because attitude determines altitude. I can't get no help. Amen. Y'all ain't saying attitude determines your altitude. If you get your attitude right, you can come up out of that thing. Stop being like a bird and trying to fly. There's a difference between flying and soaring. When you fly, you working, but when you soar, you get on top of the wind and stretch your head out. Get a little witness there. Tell your neighbor he will deliver. Lord, I might preach this thing for real. And so you have to understand. You have to begin to look at the dynamics of what's going on around here. And the Bible said it like this in Proverbs. He said, and I know what my son was. They was out preaching, say amen. But he came over to church for Papa. Say amen. Come on, man. understand, my brothers and sisters, that the Bible said it like this, that the king's heart, the heart of the king is in the hand of God. Look at somebody say, the heart of the king is in the hand of God. You worried about folk on your job, those that's got something over you, their heart is in God's hand. All you got to do is touch God, and God will touch them. Have I got any help here? Oh, yes, he will. Look at somebody say, yes, he will. Yes, he will. All you got to do is touch God. All you got to do is touch God. When I want something, I don't have to go to my boss. I go to him. If they don't do what I go to God. God, here it is. If it's your will, deliver me. God, deliver me, because, and notice what happened. They got upset with the prophet because he told the truth. He was saying, wait a minute, you looking at this world, I'm going to turn you in, because the Babylonians were the enemy against God. If you could read the history of Israel, the Chaldeans were always against how they were a fierce people. The Chaldeans, the Babylonians, you can read about them in the book of Habakkuk, chapter number 1, and they talk about how fierce they were. Amen. But God told the prophet, he said, tell them to give, you're going to lose this city. This city is going to be overthrown. But if you want to save your life, just surrender to them. See, sometimes God will put you in a bad situation to save your life. Amen. Woo, God. It was when I was in the Monroe County Jail that I came to myself. That wasn't a good place to be, but it saved my life. I can't get no help out here. Oh, God. Who am I preaching to in this hour? Sometimes you wonder, God, why am I going through what God say? If I do what you want me to do right now, you ain't going to learn that you're going to turn your back on it. You're going to mess up and mess around and lose your soul. But if you can hold on, I know you're in the dungeon. I know it's thick. I know it's damp down here. I know there's no water. But if you can hold on, just three people say, hold on, hold on, hold on. He tell your neighbor that God will deliver. Look at somebody and say, God will deliver. Brother Mitchell, God will deliver. Deacon Lionel, God will deliver. Deacon Rick, God's going to deliver. Can I tell you something? You already delivered. I wish somebody would shout glory. Shout glory one more time. Yes, sir. That's all the Bible said now. That they lowered them down in the dungeon. But they said there was no lack. Because when they lowered them in the dungeon, the Bible said the city was in trouble. There was a famine in the land. And they say they lowered him down in the mire. Y'all see that? Okay. He says, look, y'all see that? Hey, listen now. They take him and lowered him down in the mire. I couldn't get past that deed. They lowered him down in the mire. I read about mire before, but I wanted to go. Y'all messed me up. I had to go do some homework. Because you know Pastor Jim been talking about, that was an excellent word. So I said, oh, yes, you did. Okay, let me go on and do some homework here. But in all seriousness, it messed me up. They said, Master, when I look at the word mire in Hebrew, it means that they lowered him down. Watch this here. In a sticky place. That ain't the only thing now. They not only lowered him in a place where he feels stuck, but also mire means calamity. So they lowered him down in trouble, and he got stuck in his trouble. And the problem with some of us, amen, and the Bible said there was no water, no bread. So he was as good as dead. Y'all ain't saying nothing. Oh, y'all ain't gonna talk. Y'all gonna hear me in here. See, that's the problem. Some of us, we are stuck in relationships and stuck in financial difficulties and stuck in sickness and stuck in not knowing and stuck in frustration, and there's no water and there's no bread. But the reason